basically edit out any. Yes, but you did. I'm actually sober for a change.
Yeah, man. It's weird. Being being sober is an odd feeling, so it is. It's an odd sensation. It's kind
I
of
know. I've actually
still.
been sober a lot this week.
I think it's overrated, mate. It's
Kind of
like,
is. Whenever you're fucking starting work at like 7:20 in the mornings, and it's can't be fucked in it.
do you know what I think? See, especially in lockdown, it's so fucking easy. Like I've had to be proper disciplined. Because not that I ever had like a fucking drinking problem. Like I'm not a massive drinker, but I blame Ryan for this, as I blame a lot of my downfalls.
On
Uh
round.
oh
That's a
well,
fair point.
yeah, a lot of it can all be traced back to him. But I got through the stage a wee while ago, and not that I had like a drinking problem, but I had came home from like training or something like that, and I had a chinned a couple, but nearly every night, like I came back from kickboxing and had like 4 beers on a Monday night, and I came home from judo the following night and had like 3, and then came back from training, and it was kind of like by like Thursday, you're like, there's a case going, and we're not even reached the weekend. Like it wasn't like getting hammered, but it
Yeah.
was like anywhere between 2 and 5, nearly every night, and it was like, okay, hold on a minute. This went on for like a couple of months, and it was like not getting chinned, but it was like, hold on a wee minute here. We're actually putting away, all in all, not a bad amount of beer over the course of, fucking during the week, midweek's the issue, where you're
Yeah.
kind of like, dude, there's a case going, and it's fucking Thursday. You're like, oh, here, we've got a wee bit of a problem here. It's just casual, just coming back and like, fuck, what's up for a wee bit? Watch South Park or fucking Father Ted, have a couple of beers.
Oh
It's
man,
like,
sure, I was doing your night out the hell button in December and shit when we were up there, I was going in easily, chilling like 8, 9 beers a night. I was getting in at like 10 o'clock, going to bed at 12 and getting up at like my alarm and stuff at like quarter to 5 the next morning.
do you know what I can't do? Watch fighting sober. I can't watch UFC or boxing when I drink. Like I have to go get. I don't have to get hammered, but I need to have something. I need to be like, I need to go get a beer.
I know, see, if I like start
It's
getting beers too
odd.
early in the fight, by the time if it goes the distance, by the time it hits the 12th or the 11th or 12th round, I'm like watching it with one eye.
Yeah, I mean that's I wasn't too bad. See, with me working in the bar till 12. Then by the time I get my till done and things like that, I get home. I'm usually fucking starving, so I usually have to get myself quick something to eat before I go around with mates. Pardon me. So I may be
See,
getting around to his house in Clonlough there, like maybe quarter to 1, which isn't too bad. So you start drinking and the main event's on at like 5:30, you're grand. But I've been around my mates and he's been on it like from, you know, maybe 5 or something like that. I'm not getting to him till nearly 1. So yeah, like I kinda, it's weird. Yeah, I tried doing it a wee while ago for the UFC. I think I started drinking at like 8:30. The main card doesn't start till 3. And like, oh, that was a miscalculation on my part.
yeah, it's trying to find that balance between having a few drinks on board and not getting chin before it starts.
It's the same even for gigs. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we've all miscalculated how many beers to have before a concert. Like, I think when we went to see Slayer, I think it was helped a lot by walking in the wrong direction, which kind of meant we had less time in the bar. So I thought by the time,
It was a trauma of shelling out €13 for 2 bottles of fucking
oh
Heineken.
yeah,
That was the
still in fucking shock for that. But I think the fact that I
yeah.
think like we really hadn't had loads to drink by the time we got there. Like we were right late, but we weren't too bad. But like we've all been there, we've all fucking got to a gig, shit faced, and the support group
No,
isn't
see, I
even
always
on.
make sure I'm not because I don't want to run the risk of not getting in.
I've always got in. Well, sorry, do you know what size? Maybe shift it, but it's like the 4 or 5 beers that you have at the gig,
Yeah, and
and
then
you're
you
like,
got to take in beer to piss ratio.
do you know what? This is I kind of blame Mate Sean for this. Is that I'd be a bit of a. Also, it depends on the band. Like a bit of a fucking concert nerd. Is he wanting to get like a good spot? Like get close to the front or something like that. Like he's a fucking balls deep Def Leppard fan. Like his obsession with Def Leppard isn't healthy. Um, So he has us fucking queuing like a couple of hours before the fucking doors open. So like we have no beer the whole time. But do you know what I mean? There's also like you go get fucking. I don't like sitting at gigs. See, it's different because if you're standing, you're like you want to get a good spot, but you also want a
Oh,
few
sitting at
beers.
gigs is weird.
Mate, I think it
I've only done it
depends.
once.
I've done it twice. It depends on the gig. I thought the first ever gig I went to was Metallica, and we're sitting for that. But that was genius, and I don't know why more bands don't do it. They had the stage in the middle,
I
so
don't really do that.
you have a whole three. There's not a bad seat, especially the Odyssey, because the Odyssey isn't that big. There's not a bad seat in the house. Do you know what I mean? Like you think, like mate, fuck, I was gutted. I still worked in Robinson Centre at the time when AC/DC last toured, and I got us. I was working in the morning shift. Thankfully, I abandoned the gym and I went into the office, used the computer, got 2 standing tickets for me and my mate Sean. I forgot to log in the Ticketmaster. Fuck, could I get my password sorted? So I had to come out. By the time I went back in and got logged in and all, the standing tickets were all gone. Mate, I had to get us seated tickets behind. It was at the Aviva. We were behind the goal, so we were looking the full length of the pitch to see the stage.
Fucking hell, what do you bring for that gig? You fucking set of binoculars?
Do you know what, mate? It was AC/DC and we were half chin, like, so I'm not going to say it was bad, but see when you're looking at the people jumping up and down in the stand and everything, you're going, you should have been there. Like, it wasn't like that's where we'd want to be. I had 2 tickets.
I know, because when Sabbath played in Belfast, my ma got me a ticket for Christmas, and she got me a seating ticket, and I was on my own, and
See, I
everyone
couldn't
else
do it.
was
Like,
all
Sabbath's
standing.
one of those ones I couldn't fucking sit. So that's why, obviously, I forgot actually about AC/DC. Me and Ryan sat for ZZ Top. But again, that's one of those ones, mate, we would literally been chinning beers from the morning in the airport. So,
Fair play.
you know, it's one of those ones, like, ZZ, they're not like a mosh pit, they're not like a jump up and down, head bang. You know, we're half canned. We just want to sit, listen to music, and drink beer. It was like, there's
And,
no point fucking standing. You know,
and
it's like,
it's like
I want
Jeller's
to
the
sit,
manager I work with. Her husband's really into, oh, what do you call him? Sabaton.
right?
So they were playing in Dublin. He's like, oh, fuck, I want to go see this. And he's like a restaurant manager in a restaurant in Belfast. And to look at him, you would go like, doesn't look like the type of guy who's in the middle. Fucking proper into it, like.
Yeah, yeah. Like, that's not part-timer stuff.
Yeah. And then she was saying, like, they were sitting at it. And I think, what was that? I think that was the Three Arena they were in. And he went, I'm just away for take a piss or whatever, grab more beers. And he was away for ages. And just kind of going, fuck is he went to? And managed to catch him in the middle of a mosh pit. He
Yeah,
somehow
legend,
managed to get out of the seating area, go for a piss, get back into standing, and was just in the middle of a pit going mental.
legend.
And it was like, someday whenever we're all fucking not grounded again, we'll go to the restaurant and I'll show you this guy. In fact, we'll go to the restaurant and I'm sure Justin will be working. You'll know he's working because like I'll end up talking to him. But you'll look at him and you'll just be like, I really did not expect that.
Yeah,
But
see, metal
like,
people's a weird. Metal fans come in all shapes and sizes, like so they do. It is funny when you see someone who's like balls fucking deep in it. You're like, fuck, you are. I wouldn't think it.
yeah. I remember the last time I seen Motorhead in Belfast. We were standing, and you know when the Ulster Hall have got that balcony thing?
Yeah,
And there was some cunt kept flicking fucking cigarettes at me. I was raging.
yeah.
You're standing there next to the cigarette just bounced off my head. Still lit.
Oh mate, you have to have some of the best concert stories ever.
Yeah. You're sort of sitting there, and next minute some cunt sparking up a pencil in hedges, and next minute it's just raining fag butts and all that. You're like, no, actually that wasn't the last time, because the last time I seen him was with Jace. It was the time before that, because I was with Cardsy and he pushed me and I slipped and slide tackled 3 people.
Interesting. Yeah, I only ever
Yeah,
got to see Motorhead the once. Me and Ryan saw them in London.
yeah. There was some drunk guy was standing there, and Kernsey was just like, "I wouldn't it be really funny if I pushed you?" I did, but obviously no way because you get like beer spillage and stuff.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. And it's the fact that they put the stuff down, see that like flooring, it's not proper ground, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's like when I seen Slipknot in the Odyssey, we were standing for that.
Man, I missed that.
Yeah,
So I missed that. I wouldn't say I disliked Slipknot. I wouldn't. I was only just kind of getting into them not long before the last time they got here. Like I'd listen to a couple of stuff and go, not bad, but I wouldn't say I was a Slipknot fan.
yeah.
And then
That was
I
the day
started
I
getting,
gave. That was the night I gave some wee fella life advice.
you give somebody life advice? Oh
That's
fuck.
what I fucking thought. Because remember the time? I don't know whether you remember it's not whenever I really badly fucked my leg up
Yes, yes, yes.
and was hobbling about. Like there was some bone or something was broken because I bought a suit for an event I had to attend. I couldn't go to casualties, put my leg in plaster. I'm thinking, go get this sorted, or shell out 280 quid in the suit and then not be able to wear it.
Yeah, that's a fair choice. You made the
Yeah.
right call.
Be health conscious or look stylish as fuck. I'm picking stylish, mate.
Always stylish as fuck, man. It's the only
And
way to go.
I knew that bit in that song where your man, the singer, gets everyone to get down, and then it's like,
Oh yeah,
and
to
it's, you
do
know,
the jump spit it
jump
out.
the fuck up.
After
That
spit
bit.
it out. Yeah.
I couldn't get down. And this wee fella's telling me, apparently members of the band that come into the audience and all, and like, if you don't get down, they force you down. And it's just like, you know, I probably have a broken fucking leg right now.
Yeah.
I'm not getting
Also,
down there.
this was what, like a year ago, 2 years ago. The guys are in their 40s now. Maybe like, when they were early 20s, the guys in the band probably done mad shit like that. I would imagine Corey Taylor's jumping into too many crowds right now.
No. Anyway, this wee fella, I think this wee fella was on the autism scale, like
Yeah,
he wasn't right.
I can see
He's,
that.
and he kept going on about he wanted to get a face tattoo. And I'm like, what do you want to get a face tattoo for? Because Sid, the DJ, has one. You're not getting a fucking face tattoo. Don't be a dick. He's the DJ of Slipknot. You're a prick with no job.
Yeah, man, that's a brave move. I think even, do you know what? See, even if you watch a lot of those tattoo shows, a lot of the artists, good artists anyway, they do try and put people off making bad decisions. When people are like, like a neck tattoo, and they're like, one, the fucking pain, and two, they're like, what do you do? What do you do work wise? I was like, remember your job's going okay now. What happens if something goes wrong? And you need to apply for a fucking office job, and you've got a fucking tattoo in your face like the fucking DJ and Slipknot. They're going to take one look at you and go, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah. Look at
Do you
the
know what I
clip
mean?
on prick that just walked in.
Exactly. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, again, you're a fucking DJ in Slipknot. Get your fucking face tattooed. Do whatever the fuck you want. You're in Slipknot. Do whatever the fuck you want. See, unless if you're anything lower than that, I would probably advise against it.
I know. Because I remember just sort of sitting after it and just going, I'm not the fucking person who should be lecturing people on how they live their lives.
Yeah, but in that case, you were right.
Yeah. I
You
think I
know,
actually might have threatened to slap him at one point.
that's fair. I'd probably do something similar.
Just for being so fucking stupid.
Yeah, man, you wonder what fucking. You know what's the best? I think probably every fucking city in the world's like that. But see, the city centre. The city centre is just filled to the brim with people that you look at and go, "The fuck made you do? What made you wake up in the morning and go, this is a fucking great idea?" You
I know.
know, like, do you know what I don't get? See the whole big fucking earring thing? Who goes, do you want to be fucking brilliant? See if I had a fucking gaping earlobe, that'd be magic.
Oh, no stretch tunnels. Do you know anyone's actually ever got that done? And you know where you have to like start off small and then you start increasing and stretching?
Yeah, but like
Do
anal.
you ever smell people's ears who get that done? They're fucking bouncing, mate.
Do you know what, I'm not going to lie, I can't say I've ever smelled anybody's ear, but I'll
Never
take
around
your...
sniffing earlobes.
Do you know what, mate? I got told off for it once, and, you know, there were threats made, there were solicitors involved, so I can't do that shit anymore.
Was there threats of being put in the fucking register for that?
Well, the word savile was used, and I was like, alright, I'll stop,
Could have
you
been worse
know.
than put in Savile.
Yeah, I'm like, right, I'll
Which
fucking...
leads me to my next thing. Remember the time we had that discussion about the celebrity pedo league?
Yes, we done like a Premier League, and then we done like a Champions League.
Yeah.
Although I
Right.
do realise that I've recommended a couple of people who do now play for the Glens. Jay Donnelly comes to mind. But we'll pretend that he doesn't play for them anymore. I literally shout for the whole team except for him.
Eh. It's like, see if the pedos all formed, like, got together and formed like a football celebrity super team. Could they call themselves, or could they call themselves Molester City?
Well, again, as a Man City fan, I'm not really too fond of that name because it's very close to Manchester City. Well, no, because there would have to be a city. There would have to be from
Eh.
a city. So it would have to be a city called Molester. Which
Then
there
they
could
should just
be.
form their own city.
Maybe in Epstein's Island. There's one.
Fucking that's it. They'll
Yeah.
all just move there, and then they'll be like, we're by Molester City. Jimmy Savile being the Chelsea, being the coach.
Mate,
Wayne
that
Coates
whole Epstein... Do you know what? That's one thing that annoys me about
Alan.
it. There's not enough... Whatever happened to that whole Epstein thing? Like, still, like, to me, like, that's not a conspiracy. I think the whole world accepts that's not a conspiracy. Like, you're a mong if you think that he actually killed himself.
Of course it's not. Fuck me, Stevie Wonder and a galloping horse could say that.
So what happened? Who killed him? And that was all a bit of a discussion at the time, and then nothing ever really happened with it. And then
Did you ever Google his cellmate?
I didn't Google him, but I know, like, he was like a psychopath, wasn't he?
Right, he was this ex-New York cop who got basically booted off the force in jail for like drugs offences and all sorts of mad shit. He was into like all sorts of weird shady stuff.
Oh, I was a mad
But
cop.
there's a picture of him online. Mate, this guy has muscles on fucking muscles. Like, he's huge, huge. And they're like, fucking stick Jeffrey in there with him.
Yeah, and
You know,
there's loads, I'm in the conspiracy stuff, so I like going deep, and I don't trust any mainstream media at all. But like, they arrested his mate, your woman, oh shit, what the fuck her name? Short dark
Gillian
hair.
Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell. Again, whatever happened about that? Whatever happened to her?
Mate, see if you knew Jeffrey Epstein, alright? And he's like, do you want to come to a party on my island? You'd be like, fair enough, I've nothing on this weekend. And he went here, we have a couple of teenagers out.
Oh
I
yeah,
probably just turn around and go, can I not have a crack at her? Because she looks pure filth.
oh, Maxwell?
Aye.
Yeah, man, there's worse out there, certainly.
You know what
You
I mean?
know,
Like, consider my girlfriend's in her 40s, like.
but I also think that, fucking, if you're that way inclined to go to his island, you're not interested in a bit of a MILF. Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
all over the milk, mate.
Oh, mate, here, fucking, man, I'm their number one fan. But if you're the
Yeah.
sort of guy who's interested in going to Epstein's Island, like, what was it? Did Bill Clinton not have something like 27 flight logs to the island? You know,
Ah, fuck, we're all out of them cunts. In fact,
granted,
I'm going milking
if
in
you were
Dublin
married to
again
Hillary
tomorrow
Clinton,
afternoon.
you would be tempted into being a paedophile.
Of course, you would have you seen the state lad? The pucker face style cunt. She's basically like a fucking arsehole in January.
Mate, she is evil. I think that gets very underplayed. The woman is literally evil.
Of
I
course she is.
hate her.
And she's
So
got that
much.
look about her. That weird pucker mouth thing, like the type your arsehole would resemble if Barrymore invited you around fucking swimming. You're to be like, where are we going, Barrymore's? Clench.
Exactly. I can't remember who tweeted it, but I think I sent it you happened at the time when Kobe died in the helicopter crash. someone put out a fake tweet of his saying, "I have information about Hillary Clinton that I'm going to release tomorrow."
Yes, you did send me that.
Yeah, that was gold. Because that's what happens. Anybody who has a wee bit of fucking dirt and all those ones likes Epstein. Like the Epstein, he had apparently, I can't remember who it was, he had a picture of Bill Clinton painted in a dress, and it was I want to say it was George Bush Jr., W, whatever he
I
goes
that
by.
fucker didn't know where he was half the time. He's like fucking the American Louis Walsh.
Oh, I mean, he was fucking clueless. Um,
Yeah.
Louis
You
Walsh
ever
tried
hear
to
him
book
talking
one of
about the
my
whole
clients.
nuclear thing? It's like, yep, we're going to counteract their nuclear programs. It's fucking nuclear, not
I
nuclear.
Billy Connolly done that bit. It's like, sound it out, George. Sound it out. Oh, fuck, man, that bit's hilarious. Um, man, I want to say is that, but it was the principle. He had them painted in dresses to be basically like, "You're my bitch," because he has like dirt on them. Like dirt doesn't do it justice. What he had on them. I don't. Sorry, I
Mm.
see that's maybe a wee bit of false news. I don't know whether it was George Bush.
And
It was somebody.
what is
It was
it?
one was definitely a Clinton, and one was I want to say another ex-president. It was someone who was high up there, but one was
And
definitely a Clinton, and it was basically like, you know, but he was going to get away with stuff. He was going to get shit. I don't know,
whenever you
signed
have
off.
that much power, it's like you look at the whole sort of elite thing, especially probably more in England. No, you've got like Eton and that other mad fucking private school. And like that David Cameron thing was a perfect example where like, oh, we've got a photograph of David Cameron like teabagging pig. And then they
Oh,
get them to do things where it's just like, because they know whenever they come out of places like that, they're going into like the establishment basically, or get into business, and it's like, here, do you want to do this business deal with me? Nah, I'm not feeding it. Well, I'll just release this video of you when we were in college, like kicking a homeless guy in the face and burning a £50 note in front of him.
see, that's
And
what
they're
it
like,
is. A lot of it is,
and it's just all public relations, like public image. Like,
yeah, a
you
lot of
gain
it's,
that power over other people. You almost gain that power over your peers.
yeah, a lot of it's just basically having skeletons in the closet, and it's like, say I don't know, you get into fucking business and you own a fucking, you get into oil, and they're like, look, we're going more towards renewable energy. So it's like, no, no, but I need you to pass this bill to let people still use oil. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. Oh, are you not going to sign off on that? Right. So what do you want me to do with those pictures of you fucking a dead body again? And then they go, okay, and then they sign off this oil bill.
Yeah.
That's
What do you want
basically
me to
what
do
it
with those
is.
pictures of you fucking dead body? Just pass me your pen there, mate.
There
Get the pick
was,
out.
like, the big one obviously in America is the skull and bones thing. And basically, anybody who's ever been in remote power of any major thing or been a high up politician, they were all in it. And apparently it's not a rumor or a legend. Apparently George Bush Senior, I want to say it was Senior, apparently one of his initiation things was he actually stole Geronimo's skull from his grave.
Would
And
you fucking surprise me?
And apparently that's not like a legend or a rumor. Apparently, like, no, 'cause apparently, like, obviously whatever fucking ancestors, whatever, apparently, yeah, his family, Geronimo's family, were like, what the fuck? Like, they fucking, they desecrated the grave for a dare, essentially, as an initiation thing. But that's the weird
Yeah.
shit that they do. But again, it's like, oh, here, that's basically all you do. You just get dirt on each other, and that's how you just climb the ladder. It's someone's like, we need you to do this. No, we're not doing that. Okay, then, well, I'll just, like, that you sucked off a horse. And then you'll go, fuck, can't be having that coming out, so they'll just pass a bill or they'll send something off. That
Of
actually
course it
came,
is.
that came to mind because I was actually watching Ali G in the house the other night. Man, I forgot how fucking hilarious that movie is. And that's the bit, no one wants to vote for him. And he says to the other guy, he's like, yeah, well, I heard you sucked off a horse. And it turned out to be true. Oh man, that's such a movie. If you haven't seen that, it is fucking hilarious. I recommend checking that out.
I haven't actually. No, I started watching last week actually. Do you ever remember that show it used to be on Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, I watched bits of it. I watched it at the start. So I watched it at the
I
start because
started watching that.
I started watching it at the start because UVF were on it.
Oh, why when the kid, like, the guy knows that the guys from the Shankill Road, and he's just like, any use men fight, wanna go over here and knock about like sound people.
And then, I mate, sure, I'll go over. Knock the fuck out of them
I hear
bastards,
it, I
alright?
go have a fucking crack at them.
Here, this doesn't affect me get my brew money, does it?
Yeah.
And you're like,
I
I mate,
was
here,
in Sonia's last week,
I'll go
and
over to
she's got
Birmingham.
that Netflix thing,
Oh, yeah.
and she was wanting to watch something, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. Do you want to watch 50 Shades of Grey? Nope. Guess what we ended up doing last Saturday night?
50 Shades of Grey.
Watching 50 Shades of fucking Grey.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Do you know what? The people, it's not bad, but who
That's a
the
load of
fuck?
bollocks.
Who the fuck thought? Let's do a program with loads of brummies in it. And it's not the worst. It's just, there's worse accents, like Scousers, but like to listen to, it's just a dreary accent to listen to. You listen to two brummies talking, it's just,
I know.
it
They do
sucks
say
the
the
life out
occasional
of you.
funny things, but it doesn't sound that funny. They're like, you look like a fucking pendant.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it's just dreary. There's something about that accent that just fucking sucks the life out of you. That would be like just something you do to torture prisoners of war, is you would make them listen to two brummies talk to each other.
I know. It's like, could you imagine bumping into Rob Halford, and he'll be like, do you want to come back to my hotel and not bum you? He'll be like, nah man, I'm alright.
Yeah, I'd rather take the bumming than listen to him talk. Do you know what? Sorry, again, maybe as like one of talking like Rob Halford or something like that, like as one person. But to listen to a whole program where they've all got these Brummy accents is just. Now,
Yeah.
granted, again, it's like, what did I watch the other night? Away Days. Not a bad movie. It wasn't as football hooligan based as I thought it would be. It's actually a wee bit kind of deeper and friendship and drugs and things like that in it. But mate, they're all fucking Scousers. And mate, you do not need to stick la on the end of every fucking sentence. And why the Scousers? Why do they get the like they're fucking Hebrews? Like Jamie
Yeah.
Carragher's the worst. Jamie Carragher sounds like he has like throat problems. Why is everything so like fucking sorted out? That's not part of the English language. There's like a wee bit of fucking Hebrew in the Scouse accent.
Yeah. It's like, you're a rat. You're a rat in the scally.
Yeah, and it's like what's up with
So a baptism with a baseball bat.
And then he's
Then
like
that Sky's Toy
cauliflower.
Story is actually really fucking funny.
What's that?
Sky's Toy Story.
Oh fuck. I never heard of it. That would be hilarious.
Oh, have you never seen that? Mate, go head up YouTube and just go on and search Sky's Toy Story. It's
Oh
the
man.
funniest thing ever.
Do you know what? I actually,
And it's Sky's Fireman Sam as well, that's good.
do you know what? I didn't appreciate that as a kid that he was Welsh. And then it was only as I got a wee bit older, not that I watched Fireman Sam when I was that older, but flicking like, oh, for Fireman Sam, I loved that as a kid, and you're watching it for like 30
Did
seconds.
you ever hear why they don't show that anymore?
Yes and no, I've forgotten, but I do know this. What was it? It was
Yeah,
something
because
daft.
it was an episode and it showed the fucking copies of the Quran burning. And that's why I could take it. That's why they basically stopped me. They could take it off her.
Oh, for fuck's sake, mate, they're all about fucking burning books now and getting rid of certain books and... Oh, fuck. World's gone fucking crazy, mate, so it is. It's absolutely fucking crazy. I saw funny. I can't remember what I saw it on. It must have been some fucking Facebook page. That's all about like offensive shit, and it showed you some woman's tweet, and it was like, yes, Biden won, he's the new president, blah blah blah. The whole Trump nightmare is finally over. And then he's only been in office like what, not even a month, and she's already put up a second tweet that was like, the Biden administration needs to do something about this. And it was like the price of food and the price of gas and how are people supposed to afford this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, here, fuck you. You weren't saying that fucking 2 months ago when fucking Trump was in charge. So your one tweet being on like, fuck yeah, Biden, then like not even a month later, you were like, yeah, here, you need to do fucking something here. You wouldn't fucking use that. Like, you know, people are fucking struggling to afford things and it's like, oh, fuck yeah, you know, grass always being fucking greener and all that. It made me laugh.
If COVID hadn't hit, fucking Trump would have got a second term.
Oh yeah, anybody who I know, like, that I listen to about, I was just obviously fucking sitting listening to podcasts from lockdown. It's like anybody who knows anything about American politics, if the election had came a year earlier, then Trump would have won by a landslide. But see, because, like, they're saying, like, oh, he had, like, one of the worst employment rates in American presidential history. It's like, yeah, because we're in a pandemic where every
Yeah.
fucking country is
But
out of a job. And it's
did you
like,
ever hear the thing before that happened? Before the whole pandemic thing came? Where, you know what they always say in America is it's like the lowest, or the people with the highest unemployment rate was always black people from poor neighborhoods.
oh yeah, that was like an all-time low, or like a 50-year low or something like that.
Yeah, and he got in next time it was something like he had just increased it and just banged it up, and it was just like, well, actually, I think you'll find that now from Trump getting it's just like, why's all these people in this ghetto got a job when they didn't for the last 4 years under the Democratic fucking
Yeah, it
party?
was under Obama. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? See, to be fair, a lot of it is, one, if you want to be a politician, especially like you want to be like a top one, I don't trust you. Anybody who wants that much power, that much say, that much control, you have to be you have to be a sociopath.
oh,
You
fuck, of
can't be
course you do.
fucking right now. Who said, like, say you want to be Prime Minister, you're saying, I want to run 4 nations and about, what, 65 million people? Something like that, 70 million people?
Yeah,
I want to make all the rules and the legislations and all that all these people live by.
I reckon if you were a politician, you were bullied at school.
Yeah, but like, when you get bullied in school, your parents usually fucking send you to karate class or something like that. It didn't make you say, here, be a fucking cunt to the whole country.
Yeah.
I'd say here,
I
I
was
do, like,
bullied the whole way through school. Just go to university and do politics. You'll get your revenge in the end.
yeah, like, but, like, I think some of it is, like, a bit of a thankless job. I think, like, everybody's gonna fucking pick holes and do things like that. Like, look at all the shit now with the schools. They go, ah, fuck, they're closing the schools. And then they go, ah, fuck, they're opening the schools. And it's like, well, you can't fucking have it both ways. Do you know what I mean? You can't, people fucking gurn when they're closed, people gurn when they're open. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Of course,
You know,
I was learning about the fact that like, I was sat and having the piss and work the other day and I was like washing my hands and I was grabbing them doing like the wee hand dryer thing. Yeah, once you just have to put your hands in, you stand there like you're a fucking weirdo.
I've just got to stand and wait.
Yeah, and there's a mirror beside it, and I remember sort of looked over and I went, last time I had this haircut, I was 17 and growing my hair. I'm now 37 next month. What has happened to my life? And I
I
was
mean,
just like, oh yeah, COVID. Cunt.
there's just a lot of questionable things going on.
Yeah, it's lockdown. Like, I love how like during this whole lockdown thing, having a dodgy haircut's like became socially acceptable.
Yeah, it's all right to look like you're out in day release now.
Yeah,
Before, like, people go, fuck, maybe there's something a wee bit wrong with him. And there was, nah, it's alright, it's lockdown. That's okay.
yeah.
Now,
It's
it's
like,
also a good disguise if you do have something a wee bit wrong with you. It's okay. You can be a wee bit fucking, you can be a few sandwiches short of a picnic, and people just go, it's lockdown. You're like, nah, mate, I was like this before lockdown.
yeah. What do you mean? This is a style? It's just like, really, that's a style.
Yeah, it's called
He's
not
not
being
right.
all there
I
and
am
embracing it.
alright. Of course you are, son.
It's like, I'm
God,
alright.
I've
It's
seen
like,
him.
who the fuck told you that?
I bet you he went to school in that big yellow bus. I've seen them. And after he wins, licking the windows, your heart goes out to them, your heart goes. My granny thought I was deformed when I was a kid.
In what way do I like deform?
Wearing a coat that was too small, so I couldn't straighten my arms out properly, and my granny thought it was deformed. I lifted, like, some kid in the class, because, I'm sort of like, I'm quite tall. And I
Yeah,
was happy, even when I was a kid, I would have been, like, taller than most people in my class.
fucking show
And I
off.
fired this coat on me, but it was like some other guy in my class. And I went in, I don't know, went out, and it was just, like, weird, and my granny was like, he's not right. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm alright, granny. Of course you are, son. Of course you are.
What does she think now? They've already changed it. It's like, he's not right.
Yeah. But she's like, nah, I don't know, I'll have to dig her up. Sitting dead fucking pencils in P7.
And it's like, maybe not the form, but like, he's not alright, I know that much.
Yeah. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Like, sitting down in my granda going, where do you reckon, at what point do you reckon the gene pool's been polluted? Like, how did that turn up?
Yeah, man. Again, it goes back to seeing you see some dippers here around like city centre or something like that. And like, man, what happened? Like, what happened to you that you fucking turned out, well, like that?
Oh, there's some fuckers you see running around Belfast and they just need tasered.
I mean, some people need fucking rubbed out and drawn again.
Yeah. I was watching this thing the other night. You know, Frampton was meant to be fighting, but then I could put back because of his hand injury.
Eyes are busted lip again.
Yeah, and it's like this YouTube channel called Inside Fighting. And he was getting interviewed by some guy, like, I don't know, this guy was some English guy. And he was talking about his jobs. And Carl Frampton told this amazing story about when he helped the lemonade man deliver lemonade on the Shankill.
Yeah.
And apparently he walked into this house. And the guy was like, yeah, he gets 4 bottles every week. And it's just 2 cowboys sitting at 9 in the morning, chinning tins of dodgy, cheap lager. But one of the guys was bald. And someone had got a permanent marker and drew a hairline on him. Like right down the drawn sideburns and all. And they're just sitting at 9 in the morning, just chinning beers. He
uh,
told me that, mate. I thought I was going to die when I watched that video.
oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. Inside Fighting, it's actually, it's really good. It's a really good YouTube channel.
I'll tell you, I'm excited to listen again. See, we'd be in lockdown. That's all I do. See, listen to fucking stuff on YouTube, podcasts and all that stuff. Just try and fucking keep
See,
myself entertained.
ever since, like, lockdown actually finished and, like, I was going to say we all go back to work when some of us returned to work. I've really stopped watching TV now. I just watch mad shit on YouTube.
Mate, I gave up on TV ages ago. Like, I'll watch a bit of TV almost for the sake of it. Like in the morning when I'm having a breakfast or I'm having my lunch or something like that. There's nothing. Like, I have no interest in going down now, sticking in the TV or flicking through channels. None. I'd rather go on the Amazon and stick on a movie. Or,
See, then I only really started with Linda from I started hanging out in Donegal. I think it's just because she has Netflix, so...
yeah. Well, again, see, like some Netflix, again, like something like Amazon Prime's the same. You get everything from, I don't even know how I came across it. I came across a shitload of fucking Nazi documentaries on Prime. Like fucking concentration camp stuff and Nazi hierarchy stuff. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, that's interesting. I'd rather fucking watch that whenever fucking shite is being fucking churned out in E4 or something like that.
I don't know. I remember watching, whatever Thursday night, like, what's the Cumber Road we left on? And I remember we were watching some Nazi, like it was on yesterday. And they claimed some, and I was like, that's not right. And he's like, it's a documentary, fuck up, what are you doing? I was like, no, that is historically, that's not right for that time period. And I went to my room and got 4 different books that explained why the things in this documentary didn't happen.
Class. I got tricked into watching a documentary because it was about the Exodus. And I went, oh, right, fucking Exodus are awesome. It's like, no, it was actually about
Have
the
you actually seen
Exodus.
their documentary? Their documentary's really fucking good.
I haven't seen it, I've heard about it. But
It's
no,
on,
is
yeah,
it on
you can get
YouTube?
that on YouTube. It's called Assorted Atrocities. It's about 2.5 hours long, but watch that, it's so good.
No, this was all about the fucking Exodus of the Jews. With fucking Moses and all. And how they were trying to, not necessarily prove that it was like, but try and like explain like what happened. Like they think the whole burning bush thing, they think that it was like some sort of like psychedelic plant that like caught fire in the heat or something like that, and people heard voices were essentially tripping balls.
Probably were, man. Are you
No,
sure it
that's
wasn't just like a televised Sunday school thing you were watching?
no, because it wasn't hit. Like, you actually made me doubt myself there for a wee minute. But one bit, this is one thing that it is a bit of a fucking flaw, that was the one that the Jews roamed the desert for 40 years, but then it shows you the area that they fucking walked about in, and it was like the fucking size of Dundalk. Okay,
I've seen that.
it was maybe bigger than that, but like people were like, you know,
Yeah, but it's like
like
such a small
it's
thing.
not that big an area. They roam
Yeah.
for 40 years and not like, you know,
They just basically walked around in a big circle.
because they basically were in like it was like a very, very mini India, the way that it like dipped down. So if you go south, southeast or southwest, you're hitting sea. If you go north, northeast or northwest, you're just going to go up in the more land. It's like how they all got stuck in this wee dip in the land for 40 years is like impossible. And it's like, how did no one fucking, did they literally just go in a fucking circle for 40 years? It's like, just keep turning left, you take a left, and then go
Yeah.
left,
Oh,
and then go
fucking
left,
watching something
and
about
then
that.
go left. And then it's like, did no one think, what if we go up here? Like, you know, I've fucking seen that tree before. And like, I know I've seen it fucking 26 times in the last 15 years.
It's like the time when Kearns and I get lost in Amsterdam.
I'd say getting lost in Amsterdam's reasonably common. Like, when you have, like, legalized weed in the home of Heineken and
Yeah.
Amstel, I would say people getting lost is pretty
Because
common.
we ended up on the wrong side of this canal. And Kearnsy kept going on about, like, just turn left and we'll be sweet. And we're like, right? And then we're walking through, and it was like these blocks of flats, like apartments.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, you know, the old, like you see it in places like London and stuff, it's got like the balconies, and then there's like walkways that connect like both sides of them. And then it's just a
Yeah,
walk,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we're like the dodgiest part ever. And we'll walk through this and took a left, and went down and took a left again. And went down past this weird building. I can actually still see this, but it's like a weird bluey dark grey thing. And walked up the end of the road and took a left and went through this. And like obviously we had walked through this like maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We were just walking in this big square. And all the while, if we had a came down to where the building was and went straight on, we were back into like the centre of Amsterdam. But Currency in his mind was just like, just keep turning left. And we're like,
It's
what's
just gonna
that
take you
over
in a
there?
circle.
Yeah.
You know
Basically
what?
we crossed like a 4-lane carriage and we're like, that looks like civilization. No, it's just up here and down to the left. But there's stuff going on over there. So imagine there's all these Dutch people just sitting in like, this is some really dodgy part of Amsterdam, like.
Oh, that's mad. I had something
And we're
similar
just
like that happen to me in Glasgow. I went over for the Commonwealth Games because I knew a couple of people representing Northern Ireland in judo. So after
yeah.
judo was done, we all went out. We ended up in this bar. Fuck, we ended up in this fucking bar. I ended up an absolute mess. But they were all going back. I was the only non-athlete there, or like wasn't a coach or anything like that. So like they were all going back to the athletes' village, and they were like, "You all right to get home?" I'm like, yeah, I go down, find the Clyde, turn right. Simple. Could I find the fucking Clyde in Glasgow? Next thing you know, I'm walking around. I finally find it. But I'm on the other side of what I thought I was. I'm like, I don't remember crossing the fucking big river that runs through the city. And I'm like, how did I end up on the other side of the river?
Pretty sure you would have probably noticed that.
Do you know what? That's exactly my first thought was, the river's on my right. The river should be on my left. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? And I'm like, did I, did I cross the river? I don't know, man. I was a bit bitten. But it was, yeah, it was literally go down to find the river and then just turn right. And it was
Did
like,
I get lost in Belfast one night?
well, that's not good.
I get lost in, after being with, next time we're talking to Ran asshole about this, because him and I went to the arts. And this was back in the day when it wasn't just alcohol was being imbibed.
Oh, well, there was others. There was other aids in the
It was
fucking up
other,
process.
yeah, there was other mind expanding substances. So as you can tell by the end of it, I come out and I was fucking chinned like I was off my fucking nut.
That sounds
And
interesting.
Jan said to
Sounds
me,
interesting going the darts completely off your face.
oh man, it was so much fun.
Gonna have to do that sometime.
Yeah. No, it was weird because we were in seating thing for that. And all I could see was a dartboard and two people milling about. I didn't know what was going on every now and again, so I just shouted numbers.
You thought they were playing bingo?
Yeah.
You're shouting
And it
out
was like,
check.
140. It's like, fucking Carl Vorderman's let herself go. Must have been chilling the fucking pegs last night. And Borders has been on it.
You're sitting there going,
And we
two
come
two
out.
big ones and four little ones.
Yeah, I'll have two from the top and three from wherever the fuck you want. Anyway, we come out, and apparently this is how the story goes. Well, this is how I remember it. Rand turned around to me and went, because his mum was going to pick us up.
Yeah.
And he went, there's one of my mates over there. Don't move from there. I'll be back in a minute. And I was standing and I was like, I can't just ditched me. What a fool bastard. Like, bear in mind, like, this isn't even like a minute he had been gone, so I just started walking. And went across the bridge at the Odyssey. And all I can guess from where I ended up was, I must have went across the bridge. And
Yeah.
turned right. And started walking up towards the shore road.
Oh fuck.
Right? So then I was just like, at this point, I was hopelessly lost. And I didn't know where I was. Like, I think I actually blacked out between the point of leaving the Odyssey and finding myself in these side streets.
Oh
So I just
fuck.
started to run. And I mean, like,
Did you
I
pick a
was
direction,
fucking,
just the direction you were going in? Just go like, run. And
what? There was loads of people milling about.
also, I know how you run when you're bent.
Sprinting. Yeah. So I was like, I mean, literally, I'm just running down the street. And there's like all these groups of people hanging out in the street corners going, ah, and shouting at me. And like, I was probably fucking legging it at this point. They probably thought I'd just like fucking murdered some cunt.
Oh
And then
fuck.
I thought, in my mind, I was like, right, find the main road. And we'll be sweet. Once we find the main road, basically we're on like the main sort of route again.
Yeah.
Could hear cars. Jumped over a fence and scrambled up this embankment that was all covered in bushes. Got to the top of it, nothing, back down. Went again. Could still hear these cars like flying past me. I was like, right, it's bound to be somewhere. Then I seen these lights off the distance, so I took a left again. And again, scrambled up this embankment that was all covered in things. Like, sort of bushes and like brambles and
Yeah.
weeds and stuff. Basically, Vietnam my way through that. Got to the top of
Like
it.
fucking apocalypse now.
Yeah, and it was really fucking steep. And I remember getting to the top of it and putting my hand out and going, there was like a metal thing. I put my hand up and pulled myself out of this hedge. Mate, I was on the fucking motorway. So I remember sort of sitting there, like, basically,
Surely at
there's
that point
people
you're like,
obviously
well,
driving past.
you're just like, this is how I die then.
There's people, oh no, mate, this story gets worse. There's people driving past and obviously someone that's been sitting in the passenger car and I've just went, pretty sure I saw some cunt in that fucking hedge here. What'd you say? Ah, nothing, just keep driving. Fucking weirdo. So I figured, right, I'm on the motorway. I'm on the side. I remember seeing a sign. Where was it? I seen a sign away off to my left, and I looked at it, and I seen the word Belfast or something, and I went, nowhere you can see like a sort of a word, but it was so far off, I could somehow just make it out.
Yeah.
Went, right, fuck it, I'll take a punt, I'll just start walking this way. Either we're going to end up in Belfast, or if I'm going out of like, the city. Cops are going to pick me up at some point. Someone's going to phone the police and go, it's a really drunk, fucked up guy walking along the motorway. And they'll come
It's
pick
like
me up.
there's some fucking biff roaming the motorway.
Well, I managed to somehow position myself on what can only be described as a curbstone. And you know those metal barriers they have?
Oh yeah, like the crash barriers.
Yeah, and like a side of the thing. Held on to that for dear life and just started walking.
How did you not die?
Oh, mate, believe me, this isn't even the worst bit.
Do you know what? It's one of those ones, do you think the fact that you were so fucked up is the reason that you survived? Because one of those ones I made, if you were sober, that
Mm.
probably would have killed you. But you were
And
probably
you
the
know what
right
really
amount of
happened?
fucked up that you were like, I can actually get through this because I'm fucked up. If I'm sober, I'll be
Plus,
freaking
I
as
had to go to
fuck.
work the next day. I had to go to work at 8 o'clock
What
the
are your
next morning.
priorities? I can't get scalped by a Laura because I have work in the morning.
No, but then I probably would just jumped into like a hedge or something and went to sleep. Anyway, was walking along, fucking all the lorries are going to the docks and they're flying past me and it's just like, well, that's a bit hairy.
To say the least.
And then it came to the worst point of it ever. Like, this was the scariest bit. You know that you're coming down the motorway and take that slip road off down towards the Odyssey?
Yeah.
I had to walk down that. See you later.
Oh no, that sounds... That slip bit?
Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
like the off slip it takes down the Odyssey.
Yeah.
I had
So,
to walk down this hold on thing. Mate, there's no hard shoulder in that.
no, that's just 2 lanes.
Yeah, you also get fucking 40-foot articulate lorries going to the fucking docks, whacking off the motorway and flying down that. I spent most of that journey walking along just going, ah! Fucking screaming in terror, like.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man, you're a disaster.
And then get into town. I was walking through Corn Market and I cut up and there was loads of people milling about and I'm in a fucking bit of a traumatic state at this point.
I'd say so, man. You probably fucking shit yourself as well.
Thankfully I didn't do that. I may have actually stopped and stuck my cock through like a wee square hole in the grill and pissed over the side of it, but anyway, got into the city centre, loads of people milling about, found a taxi depot, went, got a taxi home, basically opened the door, fell into my house, went up, went to bed, fucking was walking up the stairs. I remember coming out of the bathroom and going into my room and I tripped and I had this like, you know, those wee table things you have beside your bed.
Yeah.
Well, I smacked my head on the corner of one of them. Woke up the next morning, my alarm went off at 10 to 7
Oh,
because I had to be
fuck.
at work at 8 o'clock. I'm sort of adopting my dad usual. Oh, fuck. Oh, I forgot to set the heating alarm. I'll just hit the immersion on. Went into the bathroom and I had a line of blood diagonally across my forehead. I was like, David boy. I remember looking down at my pillow and I was just like, why is my pillow covered in blood?
Oh, fuck.
And I went into work and the boss was like, you alright? And I'm just like, I'm fine.
I'm not fucking alright after what you've been through.
Oh man, I was still fucked.
Do
Like,
you know what? Do
I
you
ended
ever
up,
find that? It's like, see if you're, like you said, like your alarm goes off, like what you said, like fucking 10 to 7. See if you're sober and your alarm goes off at like 10 to 7, you're like, oh, fuck, no, like, you don't want to get up. But for some reason, see if you've been binned. I don't know whether like survival instincts kick in or something like that, but for some reason you're able to get shit done. Like, see the amount of times, like we've come full circle, see the amount of times I was going around my mate's house to watch a boxing, and we'd even sit on and drink and just stick on some music. I mean, I'd get home at like fucking 7. The amount of times I walked home, and like it was bright, like there's people out fucking walking the dog, there's people, fucking, postmen are about and fucking things like that, and I'm walking home. I'd be getting home.
probably drinking a beer that you've liberated and for the journey.
Yeah. And I'm getting home at like 7, and I've got to get up to drive to some wee fucker's house to give him a guitar lesson at 12. And for some reason, man, I never missed a session, and I was never late. Now, granted, I literally just like fell out of bed, stuck the same fucking clothes on, grabbed a guitar, horsed a fucking cup of tea into me, drove when I probably shouldn't have been driving, got there, you're sitting there and like, alright, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking die. And you're like, so, do you have your sheet we were working on last week? I can't find the sheet. So that means you haven't practiced then? No, I didn't practice. And you're like, I've had maybe like 4.5 hours sleep. We're still probably a good amount. I'm not hungover yet, but there's still probably a good amount of hole in the system. And you see when you're getting hit up in so many bags of guitar lesson like that, you're just like,
Oh, I hate them
fuck
when you
off.
get on a false
Fuck
start.
off. But there's something about that, and it's like, you know the same, probably you've been away for like a gig or something like that. See the amount of times that you've got home at like fucking, I don't know, if it was the Stone Roses in Manchester, and like, you get home shit faced at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was in a hostel, so I had like a fucking 10 o'clock checkout. So you've been like literally drinking all day, home at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You manage to set your alarm, you get up, you get showered and dressed. Like, granted, you feel like shit and you look probably literally like shit, but you still get up and you still get out, you still get a breakfast and you still make your flight. And you're like,
I know.
man, if I was sober and I got home late at night and then my alarm goes off early in the morning, I'm going to be like, oh my god, what the fuck? And you turn it off, you hit snooze. But for some reason, some instinct kicks in whenever you're incredibly fucked up or being incredibly fucked up, you manage to get through things that I don't think you could otherwise when you're sober. Like getting up early in the morning kills me. I'm not a morning person in the slightest.
Oh, mate, I'm far from a morning person.
No, like see when it
My
comes to
alarm
anything,
goes off. Now, because I'm back in work now, my alarm goes off every morning at 5:30, and I get up at 6:45.
I would actually find I would rather stay up to 5:30 than get up at 5:30.
Oh god, so would I.
Like if someone said, right, you've either got to work at 5:30 in the morning or else you got to stay up and work to 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'd definitely rather stay up too. You know, it's no
Mm.
brainer. I'd
I know.
much rather do the staying up later stuff. So you see that getting up early, man, it kills me if you're sober. But for some reason, if like you said, well, you've got to get yourself to work. Again, man, fuck that happened. For probably another story for another day. Because I remember it was me and Patty were out for our Christmas dinner in the gym in the Robinson Centre. And I mean, I was bent, I was throwing up like fuck, so it wasn't this house party. It wasn't even really a house party, it was somebody who I worked with, her brother's house, and they had a couple of people around, and oh fuck me, it was a disaster. I got home at 6:30 in the morning. Me and Patty started at 10 in the gym. I think
God, that is the time, mate.
I made a bed out of, like the blue roll that people use to wipe their sweat and stuff like that, the big
Yeah.
blue roll. I made a bed out of those, and I don't think I came out of the staff room till like 3 o'clock. No, I was not, but it was something like the idea of, if I sat up sober by like 6:30 in the morning, and then my alarm goes at 9, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'd feel like death, but there was something about still being binned. I was just like, I can do this. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is about that I can do this instinct that kicks in. They say the amount of times I left my mates staying up for the Canelo fights or Golovkin or something like that, you know, not leaving his till like fucking 6:30 in the morning, and then getting up, getting dressed, getting breakfast and going and doing a couple of guitar lessons, and you're like, how did I do that?